NAIA action all over the country last night. Teams traveling, going to tournaments, Florida, Arizona, you have it. Just a lot of non-conference action. The HBCU was in action. We'll update you on what happened there and the standings. Most of the non-conference games are in the scroll to get all those scores. Every score is up there. And of course, we'll go into detail in the top 25 action. If you're all ready, Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. So we're going to go through the top 25 action, the HBCU action. Again, check that scroll. Also, we have Andrew Wingreen, as I said, and we'll take a listen to him. He's going to talk mighty Banyan basketball. Let's just start with number one, Georgetown. They played Simmons College tonight. They were at Georgetown. They beat them 82-61. So Georgetown goes to 14-0 halfway through this, exactly halfway through their regular season, and they're unblemished. Keith Franklin, 16 points, 3 rebounds. Aiden Niken, 17 points, 3 rebounds. Georgetown is going to take a break now till January 3rd when they play Miami Hamilton. Arizona Christian tonight, they fell to Montana Tech. This was probably the game of the night. We're going to tell you more detail on that game when we get to the Ore Diggers. But Arizona Christian, they go to 9-2, and they'll have a chance to get well, if you will. They're going to play Providence tonight. Actually, tons of games on Tuesday, tons of games today. They're going to play them tonight. They're in Chandler. But Montana Tech, well, let's talk to that when we get to that. But Arizona Christian has a great chance of rebounding today. Right now, they're 9-2. The Masters, sticking with the GSAC, they went up to Havre, Montana, and they beat Montana Northern. Not always easy to go up into northern Montana and to Havre and win. It's a brutal trip. Caleb Lowry, 21 points, 13 rebounds. And Quincy Phillips, he had 20 points, 3 rebounds. They go to 11-2, but life is not going to get any easier because they're going to play Montana Tech on Tuesday, one of the big top 25 games tonight. Again, you're gonna have to sign in early and keep track of all these games. A lot of action for this close to Christmas. Okay, here's Montana Tech. As I said, they beat Arizona Christian 75-69. It was a close game. Montana Tech was able to stretch it out right there at the end. But Montana Tech goes to 11-0. In this game, Michael 21 points, 7 rebounds, and Braden Cook, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Now, I know you can't see this on the slide, but I'm going to try to show you. I always try to look at the stats and figure out, okay, what happened? Why did what team win? And Arizona Christian out-rebounded by 9 or 8, something like that, which usually would win them a game. They're super athletic. They're really a good rebounding team. But Montana Tech is just a hard-nosed, tough defensive team, and they were able to hold Arizona Christian to 43% shooting. They both got about the same amount of field goals up, but from the field, they were able to hold them to 43%. Both teams shot really well from the three, but I believe that was the difference in the game, and it was enough to overcome the Arizona Christian's rebounding advantage. So big win for Montana Tech. They go to 11-0, but it does not get any easier because, as we say, they're going to face the Masters tonight. Bethel, they played Florida Memorial tonight. You know, some nights you're just not going to win. Florida Memorial, this Latavius Mitchell, 27 points, 16 rebounds for Florida Memorial. This guy's a man. He's big. And when he gets going, he's hard to stop. And Bethel has some big guys. But Latavius Mitchell, 27 points, 16 rebounds. Terry and Hamilton, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. A big win for Florida Memorial. Bethel will play Ave Maria on Tuesday. Both those teams are coming off a loss, so we'll see who can right the ship. So, as I say, Bethel is 10-2. They're going to play Ave Maria tonight. Grace, they were in Texas tonight, and they got a win there playing Texas A&M San Antonio. They beat them 87-61. If you can beat a team over 25 points on the road, I don't care where you're going. That's a good win. Brett Sycafus, 14 points. Ian Roush, 19 points, 6 rebounds. Gage Sefton, he pulled down 10 rebounds as well. So Grace continues to roll after that little rough patch. They're now 10-3, and they're going to play at Nelson tonight. Nelson's been playing really well again. That's the old Sagu. That's going to be a big test for the Lancers. Sticking with the Crossroads, Huntington University. You remember New College of Florida just the other night. We're going to talk to Coach about this in a minute. Almost beat Huntington. They took them to overtime. And it just appears that Huntington came out tonight and they said, that is not going to happen again. They just took it to Ave Maria. Ave Maria loves to run up and down and score, and they held Ave Maria to 69 points. They obviously turned up the defensive pressure. Drew Goodline, 14 points. He didn't get 23 rebounds. I think it's 3 rebounds. And Lane Sparks, 31 points, 7 rebounds. That rebound number for Drew. I'm sure, Drew, you'd love to have had 23 rebounds. I think that was Bill's fat finger right there. So they're Huntington now, they're 11-2, and they're going to host Olivet Nazarene on December 30th, so they get a little bit of a break now. Drew Goodline's going to need that for 23 rebounds. Sorry about that, you guys. Indiana Wesleyan, they played St. Thomas. St. Thomas is a pretty good team. Again, you go to somewhere and you beat them by 24. That's pretty impressive. Griffin Cleaver, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Cademan Bontrager, 26 points. Still one of the unsung heroes this year in the NAIA. He's just so consistent. So they're going to play. Indiana Wesleyan is 10-3. And they're going to play Madonna December 31st in Indianapolis down there where the Pacers play. So that'll be a pretty good deal, pretty big deal. Good to see that for all those players involved. One thing I want to say about this game, I put out something on X about it when it ended. And I said, I think Indiana Wesleyan stopped St. Thomas. And Coach Zach Moss for St. Thomas, a class guy. He said, stopped is an understatement. That is a humble coach. I was not very often you see a coach say that, but yeah, probably was an understatement. Hey, let's take a listen to Andrew Wingreen. Remember, he's the head coach. He's in the second year at New College of Florida, but this is their first year in the NAIA. They're 7-4, which to have a winning record your first year in the NAIA, I've watched a lot of teams. That's doing pretty well, and they're playing better every night. So let's just take a listen to Andrew Wingreen. He's going to talk about mighty Banyan basketball. Cascade Hoops Talk. Hey, I got Andrew Wingreen. He's the head men's basketball coach, New College of Florida. Andrew, thank you for very much for taking a few minutes this morning.
Yeah, thanks, Billy. Really appreciate you taking time to have me on.
So, there's no such thing as close is good. There's no such thing as moral victories. We all agree on that. But there is such a thing as gauges that says you're getting better. So you played Huntington was Saturday, right? And you took them to overtime, one of the top teams in the country. But overall, just talk about your team, where it's at, and how you feel about how it's going.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun ride so far. I think, I love our guys and the way that they come to work every day. And then, we had a great game against Huntington, took them to overtime, felt like we put ourselves in some really good opportunities. We missed some opportunities, but really have been playing well over the last week or two. I think our guys are starting to just embrace embrace the role. Their approach every day with their mentality has been at a high level, and so it's showed on the floor. But I'm thankful, getting to play teams from the Crossroads League, and obviously Huntington, super well coached. Coach Alford does a great job, and those guys are veterans, very experienced. So they challenged us in a lot of ways, and they're tough to guard. But yeah, it's been fun seeing our guys grow as a second year program here, first year in the NAIA, and seeing how they're competing at a high level.
Yeah, I was remiss there. I should have mentioned that first year in the NAI. And before we started, you and I talked, and I said I've seen a lot of teams do their first couple of years in the NAI, and they struggle mightily, which I'm not seeing out of New College. Talk about your home games because when I talked to you originally, you weren't quite sure where you were going to land, but you're playing at Bradenton High Christian School, which is a beautiful facility. Talk about that facility and what it's like to play your home games there.
Yeah, it's been really nice to have Bradenton work with us, and typically we were going to play our home games at State College of Florida, but when the hurricanes came through back in October, they destroyed the floor there, and so we had to,
Oh,
we got bumped out of that facility, and so ever since then, they're still replacing the floor at State College. So Bradenton stepped in to allow us to play our home games there, which has been a huge benefit. But even on top of that, we've just been around the city of Sarasota, the city of Bradenton, finding different places to practice at high schools, prep schools, changing times, and our guys have had to be really flexible and haven't always had the most, opportunities to go get shots up that we would like. So with all the obstacles we've had, again, it just makes it that much more impressive of what our guys have been doing on the floor during games. But Bradenton Christian has been a great home facility for us for our home games. And I thought we had a great atmosphere on Saturday against Huntington, and thankful for the people who have stepped in and helped us.
one of the things you and I talked about before the season started was you really wanted to improve your 3-point shooting. Last season, it was a little bit of a bugaboo. It really hurt you. But you brought in a freshman from Spain that nobody knows what to, a freshman is a freshman is a freshman. But Diego Aslava has filled it up. I think he's shooting 39% or something. He's your top 3-point shooter. That's pretty unusual to get that kind of production out of a freshman.
Yeah, Diego's been great. I mean, we knew he was a great shooter coming in, but I didn't, realize exactly how that would translate to the college game. And, once he started having these big, long, athletic defenders flying out at him, would that change anything? But he just stepped up. He's a confident kid. He does, everything he's asked to do, works hard every day, comes in with a great attitude. He's really turned himself into one of the leaders of our team, just someone who has a voice and the guys listen to and respect, and it translates into game day when he puts the work in. So yeah, he hit some really big shots. On Saturday against Huntington, hit the game tying shot to send us to overtime, and then he also hit some really big shots when we were down at FIU last week playing at Florida International, just keeping us in the game and going down to the wire with a tough Division I team. So he's really starting to step into his own, and I absolutely love the kid both on and off the floor.
So, Coach, you get a lot of minutes out of a lot of guys. You play quite a few, but you really got these big four. We talked about Diego, but those two seniors, Charlie Yoder and Jordan Clark, really stepped up both in how they perform and their leadership, and they've given you everything you could hope for, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, we do. We put a lot on them, give them a lot of responsibility, and trust that they're going to make plays. So we try and manage those minutes as best as we can, but I know both of them are in great shape, and they're strong kids, so they can handle it. But yeah, Jordan has, we knew the type of leader he was, but just his shiftiness and his explosiveness with the ball in his hands, it opens up the door for guys like Diego to hit shots. It opens up the door for guys like Charlie to avoid getting double teamed sometimes. And so Jordan's done a great job on both sides of the basketball. And then Charlie, just his fundamental game and just his poise when he gets the ball in his hands. He sees the floor. He's a great passer, can finish through contact, and he's shooting nearly 90% from the free throw line this year. So we feel like when we can get him the ball around the basket, good things are going to happen.
So both those guys, both your seniors, are playing about 35 minutes a game up to this point. Does that make you a little nervous? As the season grinds on?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to make sure you can stay healthy for the long run, and obviously conference play coming up, you want to make sure you have everyone healthy and full strength. But I really haven't seen it affect them, and the nice thing is I do feel like we have a good bench to go to. We just have had some weird matchups in games recently where we've had to ride those guys a little bit longer, but I think we'll be able to limit those minutes a little bit more and spread the minutes around as we get into some of these upcoming games here. So I think that will be a big help for us.
So as this season has drawn on, I think you're 7-3 or 7-4 right now. The every game you win, the expectations go up, right? You come into the season with very low expectations, but the expectations from the fans go up. The expectation from yourself goes up. What kind of learnings have you had in the last 3-4 months as gone through this process of entering as an NAIA team, a Sun Conference? What have you as a coach learned from this?
Yeah, I mean, I think, expectations are natural and you kind of, those are coming both from yourself, your players, your fans, your administration. But I think if we focus on the expectations, it's kind of puts us in the wrong state of mind. So we've really just talked about our standard and our culture and doing things the right way. And I'm a firm believer that when, we do things the right way, we work at stuff, winning becomes a byproduct of that. And so just trying to focus on the process, focus on every day, how we do things. I actually made a post on social media yesterday just about getting some emails from people in the community who were out at restaurants with our guys and saw them and they were well behaved and well mannered and treating people the right way. And, I think that kind of stuff translates onto the floor as well when you do things the right way and there's just a standard you live by. And so try not to think too much about the expectations, but just doing things at a high level every day.
What you just talked about means everything, especially in a community, right? Two or three incidents where people are put off by the guys can really, really hurt the program. So it's that had to make you feel good that they represented the university well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we culture is everything, and we talk so much about getting the right people in your program, and people matter. People are everything, and so it speaks volumes of our guys and their character when obviously we address these things in team meetings and everything, but it's the way they were brought up. Their parents did a great job with them. These guys are. It's not something that you can just snap your fingers and all of a sudden you're well mannered. And so it's really big for us to not only get talent and athleticism and physicality in our program, but more so than anything, we want the right people who are going to do the right things and treat people well, serve people, and ultimately that plays a big part in our success.
Coach Wingreen, you've got you don't play again until December 29th. You're playing Fort Lauderdale. Are they D2?
They are
trying to remember.
NCCAA.
Okay,
yeah, they're NCCAA Division I school, but they're really good this year. They have 3 guys who can score at a high level. They've beaten several teams from the Sun Conference already this year, and so we're going to be in for a fight on the 29th, and coming back from break. So we're excited to get back to work, but yeah, Fort Lauderdale is going to be a tough challenge for us.
So what is your focus over the next, 10, 12 days, something like that? You've got a couple of non-cons, and then, when you step back into conference action after the first of the year, what's your focus between now and when you step back into Sun play, to move up another notch?
Yeah, I think, again, just we're competing well throughout games. I think our guys have, like I said, come in with the right attitude, the right approach every day. And so, looking especially at our last 2 games with Huntington and FIU, there were just certain little moments, especially end of game, where we had silly turnovers beat us or, didn't finish at the rim. And, these have been 1 or 2 possession games and we've dropped them because of some of those self-inflicted wounds. And so being able to just stay consistent and to do things the right way. We've had great game plans. We've hit shots. We've defended well. And so now let's just clean up some of those 1 or 2 possessions that could potentially turn a game from a loss to a win.
Well, Coach Wingreen, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to me this morning. I hope you enjoy your Christmas with your family. It's a really important time of year. And then we'll be watching you after Christmas break. And we expect those the mighty Banyans to continue to improve, Coach.
Yep, you and me both. So again, thanks for the time, and Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Hope you guys have a great time together.
Thank you very much. That's Andrew Wingreen. He's the head men's basketball coach, New College of Florida. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot to Andrew Wingreen and, of course, to New College of Florida. A really nice guy. I think he's doing things the right way there, and we'll just have to keep an eye on him. Okay, moving forward, Baker University in action tonight in conference action. I think it was the Lone Heart game. Baker University played Mount Mercy, a game that they were expected to win 84-58, but regardless, it's a road win, and every road win is precious. They go to 12-1. Ty Henry, he had 14 points, 8 rebounds. Quentin Harvey, 13.6 rebounds. And they're idle now till January 2nd, right after the first of the year. Ooh, and look who they play, Graceland. Graceland and them are half a game separated in the conference standings. So Graceland, tonight they played Park. They hosted them. They beat them 80-62. Cole Bowen, guy's he's a double-double machine. 22 points, 12 rebounds. Second one in 2 nights. Carter Brown, 17 points, 4 assists. So Graceland, they entered the top 25, and then they immediately lost to Grandview. It's the top 25. It's not funny, but it is. It's just happens so often. But they recovered really well. They beat Central Methodist, and tonight beat Park. They're 12-1, and they play Baker on January 2nd. So tune in tomorrow because we're going to have Todd Lawrenson, the head men's basketball coach at Graceland. Remember, he was formerly years ago up at Mount Marty, did a great job up there in the GPAC, and now he's doing the same thing at Graceland. So look forward to having him on tomorrow. Ave Maria, as we mentioned, they got beat. They go to 10-3. It's not going to get any easier. They're going to host Bethel tonight. Again, those are 2 teams coming off a loss. That should be a dogfight. The HBCU was in action, we mentioned. Really no surprises. There was one. SUNO, Southern University at New Orleans, beat Stillman. Stillman has been leading the pack in this league for a while, but they won that game. So let's look at the standings. They're just slightly updated. So Stillman is only a half game up on Tougaloo and SUNO. This is turning into a great race. Really a 4-team race. Philander Smith is 4-2, only 1.5 games back from Stillman. So they come back tomorrow. Yeah, there's HBCU games tomorrow as well. You want to keep an eye on this Philander Smith and Fisk because Philander Smith is trying to chase the 3 ahead of them. So they need a win. And then Virgin Islands as well is trying to get back into that mix. Rust is a game they should win, but you have to play the game, so keep an eye on that. Hey, I really appreciate everybody listening. I just appreciate it. And try to like and subscribe if you can. It honestly makes a difference. I don't get a nickel out of it. I don't get a nickel out of anything. But the more you like and subscribe, it gives the show more visibility. And we're just trying to spread NAI basketball news to everybody we possibly can. I hope you have a good day. Tune in tomorrow and listen, and we'll talk to you soon. That's all I got. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAI school because NAI basketball is the best entertainment value in America.